Shalom, everybody. This is Sapori Ibrahim, and I am the program director, the editor-in-chief, wearing all hats for artisticministry.net. And I hope this video finds you in peace and safety and in the strength of the Messiah. And I want to just do this impromptu video to just give us all some encouragement during this holiday season. The Holy Spirit put it on my heart. I've been thinking about this for a few days, and so I just want to do this presentation. And first of all, I want to, as I always say in a lot of my videos, I remember that I live around the street and down the corner from a fire station. So at any time during this presentation, an ambulance can go by, a fire truck, and I apologize in advance. I'm not really good at editing out that stuff, so yeah, just be forewarned that that's something that could possibly happen. Generally, okay, down the street in the other direction, there's a construction site, but because it's Christmas Eve, they're closed, so hopefully there won't be anything from that end. But what's the other thing? The neighborhood that I live in, I live around a lot of people who, like myself, everyday colorful people. So at any time a hoopty can drive by or pull up with the radio bumping and thumping, shaking the windows and rattling the window panes up on the third and the fourth from the fifth and the sixth floor, or just you know how we can be, how us colorful everyday people can be, talking really loud, a few arguments over here, over there. And the building that I'm in, the walls are paper thin, so you can probably hear a door close, you can hear two people talking or arguing, and this microphone is so sensitive you would think that they're in the room with me, but I'm telling you, I live alone. Okay, and so that's not the case. But and I apologize in advance for that as well. It's just it is what it is. So we just roll with it, right? But I'm just letting you know in advance that can happen. And again, the other thing is, a lot of times when I start doing these, I tend to get nervous. My throat gets scratchy and just a lot of phlegm, and so I end up having to clear my throat and cough, and I apologize. I'm not doing that on purpose. I know that can be a sore spot for a lot of us, but I'll try to edit that out, or just cover the microphone or something. But that's something that's probably going to happen as well. But the whole reason I'm even doing this is just that I know that for a lot of us, for a lot of targeted individuals during this holiday season, it can be really, really hard. And if you're dealing with if you haven't quite found a way to handle the isolation, that is one of the tactics that they use on us, making us feel unwelcome. They've been the defamation of character, the gaslighting. We have a lot of people who turn us away. We don't get invited to a lot of activities. If we show up to the activities, to the events and such, we start to feel really uncomfortable, really unwelcome, and it can really be heightened during this time when on the surface the message is that this is a goodwill towards men, and this is the Christmas spirit and just the holiday season, and that's what's on the surface. But anybody who has worked in community outreach, social services, doing work in a lot of different demographics, we know that the holiday season, this time period, is really hard for a lot of people. There's an increase in just a lot of domestic violence. There's a rise in alcohol and addict behavior. It can be really hard. A lot of just drunk driving, reckless driving, just a lot more fights. It's really hard. And so for us, we know that it's to expose ourselves to these perpetrators, to these individuals who are wearing these masks of friendship, and because we can get really lonely, we want to go out and associate with people. I mean, we're tribal people. We've got that mentality. We're social creatures. We want to hang out and be with people, but it's important for us to be cautious, to choose where we want to go, to make choices, to don't just go and hang out with any and everybody because we're desperate. We just want to hang out with somebody. Don't do that. It's better to be, as there's a saying, a Spanish saying, mejor solo que mal acompañado. It's better to be alone than to be in bad company, especially when that company that you're choosing to be with has a few little perpetrators in there, and they don't have a problem with doing some stuff, trying to set up some directed conversation, or doing some of the little things that they do to us, maybe the whistling or the the coughing or whatever to just get us upset and on edge, or pulling some people aside and start doing some defamation of character, and we're sitting there all of a sudden feeling 3 or 4 groups of people, their eyes, all eyes on me. I mean, it sucks. It's hard, but that's something that that can happen. So if you do really want to go out, I encourage you to choose wisely what activities you choose to go with and who you choose to go with, and always have set a time limit. Give yourself maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then leave, and have an excuse ready as to why it is that you're going to leave, and just take care of yourself. That's if you do choose to go that route, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. For many of us, I have been dealing with this, with the whole not celebrating these Christian pagan holidays for many years. So for me, this is just one more day. I did a lot of recovery, Al-Anon, ACA, so I understand, and I encourage you to do this also if you're in that category. Right now, there's somewhere, depending on where you're at, specifically, most definitely in the United States, you can find an Al-Anon meeting. You can find they call them Alathons. They have different, they're going on, some of them 24/7, where they just have them back-to-back meetings, back-to-back. A lot of AA groups have them. A lot of Al-Anon groups have them. ACA groups have them. So if you, if feelings start to come up for you, find one. Call the national 1-800 number. I'm going to put it up here, and try to find an Al-Anon meeting. Try to find an ACA meeting or an AA meeting if you really don't want to be alone. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be around someone, but you want to be around healthy, safe people. So I wanted to put that out there. And then the other point that I wanted to make for us, specifically those who are dealing with the gang stalking, where they're using the witchcraft component, where they're doing the satanic attacks. It's very important that we protect ourselves. It's very important that we pray on the armor of the Most High. And again, this is directed at Messianic TIs. For non-Messianic TIs, however you choose to deal with it is however you choose to deal with it. Okay, do your thing. But for Messianic TIs, we know that hopefully you know, but if you don't, I'm going to tell you this is what the Most High has put on my heart to tell you, and that is to definitely pray on the armor of the Most High, and pray and ask Him to cover you in the blood of the Lamb. Even when you're going out for your day-to-day activities, it's something that we should do anyways, but specifically during this time period, because this is one of their, a lot of people don't know this, but this is the height of a lot of their demonic activity. Please don't be fooled by the idea that what they're putting on the surface is that they're celebrating the birth of the Messiah. That's really not what this is about, and I'm going to prove this to you. I'm going to explain this to you for the rest of this in the remainder of this video. So please stay tuned to this, and it's important for us to know that and to not participate in that. And this is the other thing that the Most High wanted me to tell you, and that is stay away from these Christmas trees. Stay away from these Christmas trappings, these different with the mistletoe and the wreaths and all these things that they do, eating these foods that are specifically associated with Christmas. Stay away from them, because there is a pagan component. And for those of you who might be asking, well, why? What? Are you kidding me? I don't understand that. Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, here we have very clearly, if you look in the book of Exodus in the Old Testament, this is where the law of Moses is being given. This is where the law, statutes, and commandments that that my ancestors entered into. And in Mount Sinai, this is the start right here. Starting at let's start at verse 3, Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Okay, that's Exodus 20, verses 3 through 6. What we need to clue in for this to just really get the heart of what it is that I'm trying to tell you, Messianic TIs who are trying to protect yourselves from these perpetrators who are specifically using witchcraft and satanic attacks. When you participate in these pagan holidays, you are basically entering into the playground of the enemy, the devil, call him what you want, Lucifer, Satan, Hashatan, Beelzebub. That is his playground. We know that while these deities have different names and they're coming from different cultures, in the end they are all under that umbrella of Satan, Hashatan. And when you start doing that, you're entering into his playground, into his sandbox. And as that old saying goes, my sandbox, my rules. And what are the rules? What is it that he does? What are the protocols that he does in his kingdom, in his playground, in his sandbox, that once you enter into, he has a right to then enact upon you? What is it? The Messiah told us very clearly, the devil, that he comes but what? To steal, to kill, and to destroy. And if you want just confirmation of that, just to keep some scriptures going in here, you can find that in I always find it in the book of John. Let me see if I can find that there. I usually find it in, now of course, now that I'm looking for it, I'm probably not going to find it. Let's see. You can have life and have it more abundantly. Let's see. Yeah, John chapter 10, let's start at verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and find pasture. The thief, that is the enemy, the devil, the thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Okay, so very clearly, that's what he does. That's what the enemy does. That's what those minions, those imps, those demons that fall under him, in subjugation to him, that's what they do. That is what the humans, those servants who lend their hands, who lend their lives and their bodies to these demons, this is what they do. They steal, they kill, and they destroy. And this is what they are, these witch stalkers who are tormenting us, who are walking through our dreams, who are influencing, under the influence of demonic entities, opening themselves up to them. This is what they do. They steal they try, if they can, to steal our blessings. They try to kill us literally on a physical level, but also kill our dreams, our hopes, our goals, our careers, our family, our intimate relationships, and they destroy them. They destroy our self-esteem. They destroy our faith. Anything that they can do, they steal, they kill, and they destroy. And when you practice and participate in these pagan holidays, you are in their playground, and they have every right to do to you what they want. So if you do make the choice to go to Christmas activities, Christmas Eve activities, Christmas Day dinners and banquets and gift exchanges, all I can tell you to do, I'm not going to say don't go. I am going to say that, but, hey, do what you want. What I will encourage you to do is choose. You have the right to choose. Choose wisely. Choose carefully where you go, which events you attend, who you go with. Make sure you always have a way to get your own self home. Make sure you have an allotted time period. You take control of the situation. If it's a situation where you can't get out of and you have to go, you would prefer not to go because you know what some of these people are doing that are there, that there's some of them are your perpetrators. They're wearing masks, but maybe you have to go. Give yourself a time period. Okay, I'm going to show up at 7:15 and I'm going to hang out until 7:45 or 8:15 or 8:30. give yourself an allotted time, and maybe let them know ahead of time. Hey, how's it going? Unfortunately, something's come up, and I'm not going to be able to stay for the entire event. But just you know what to say. I mean, take care of yourself. Practice if you have to before you go, but take care of yourself. And hey, do that old safety thing that you learned maybe growing up when you started to go to parties in junior high and on up into college, or just, around the way. Bring your own brew. Bring your own drink. Don't sit up there and eat and drink behind these people, especially if you know that some of the people that are there are literally involved in witch docking. They can, honestly, just like they can use an object and give you a gift, and you take that gift home, that object becomes a point of contact. You put it in your house, you leave it on your nightstand, you put it on your dresser or whatever, and they can, I don't know how they do it, and I'm not trying to find out how, but that object, they can literally use to draw up on that object, and I'm assuming just through that astral projection or whatever. I don't know how they do that stuff, but they can literally, it's there, and they can use that as a point of contact to make contact with you from the spirit realm, entering in through your dreams, walking through your dreams, tormenting you, harassing you. I mean, that's one of the ways that they can do it. Well, okay, I said an object, okay? Food is an object. A beverage, a punch, a soda is an object. It enters into your body, and if they're looking at the drinks which of the drinks you choose from the banquet table, from the drink table, what food you eat, did she take the baked chicken, or did she take a couple of slices of that Christmas turkey, or some of that ham? Notice them. Who's watching you? Who's really eyeballing you? They can then take that and use that as a point of contact to give you illnesses, to just give you upset stomachs. I mean, to just do all kinds of damage to you. I've had that happen to me, and I know I'm not the only one. So again, bring your own brew. Okay, if you have something there, bring it. Drink it. Participate with them in that regard, but don't eat and drink behind these people. Be selective about what it is that you eat. Or don't eat anything, and just tell them straight up, I'm not feeling it right now. I just don't really feel like eating anything, or just say something. But that's if you do have to go, and you can't get out of it. But take care of yourself, and as always, pray on the armor of the Most High before you leave your house. Ask Him to cover you in the blood of the Lamb, that it cover every level of your soul, meaning your mind, your heart, and your will. That all levels of your soul be covered by the blood of the Lamb. Those things that we should do all the time, we need to really make sure and do them now more than ever. We are at the height of their holidays. This is when their demonic activity is at its strongest. A lot of people think Halloween, but I've heard many people say that that's just when it starts, that it's amped up during the Christmas season and on up into New Year's Eve. And you notice it's kind of, depending on the part of the country, you'll notice a rise in fatalities and a rise in car accidents, a rise in just attacks, a lot of violence, a lot of negative just events and stuff occur during this time period. So definitely we need to really look out for that. And one of the things that I wanted to really talk about at this time was just trying to be there for one another during this holiday season as a TI. And so if you like this video, I'm going to try and do another one probably later on tonight, or maybe even in the early morning, just for those of us who are alone, who don't have anything to do. We've made the choice that we're not going to be running around getting caught up in any of the foolishness that's going to be going on in our communities, depending on the type of celebrations and where we're at. And maybe just because of the witch stalking that's going on, because of the stalking, just not wanting to be targeted, not wanting to deal with that, knowing that our perpetrators are out there. So being at home, sometimes being alone can be hard. If you don't have anything to do, again, check out this video here, and the next video that I do, I'm going to actually, believe it or not, I've decided I'm going to do a reading of chapter 3 in the book Babylons, and basically that's the section where he's a reverend. Alexander Hislop is a reverend who lived in, I think it was I want to say England during the early 1900s, and he did a deep research into the Catholic Church, into their the pagan origins, that time period of pagan Rome, which basically switched over into Catholic Rome, but how they kept a lot of those pagan rituals and how they incorporated them into the body of the Messiah when those different bishops and cardinals, when they got in positions of authority. So I'm going to be reading that just to give you the proof of what I'm talking about in terms of Christmas and how its pagan origins and how we are not to participate in that. And when we do participate in that, basically we're setting ourselves up for the enemy. We're giving him an open door. And the Messiah, our Heavenly Father, they both step back, and because it's His law, they get to have right to come in and create problems in our lives. So I'm going to read that section. It's chapter 3 that talks about that. So stay tuned for that, and I'm going to try to do a couple of videos just to have something for you to do if you're checking out my channel, checking out the website. Okay, so with that, I say shalom.